What's going on? Today we're going to be working again on the 60, and today we're going to be working on some body work. We're going to get started here on this portion of the front fender. We're going to go ahead and be taking care of these holes that we got. We're thinking we're just going to do one patch for all this section and maybe just spot weld this part in, but that's what we're going to be getting working on today, and see how far we get, and work on some of the other rust spots that we have. And so let's get started.
Like, figure out what exactly we want to patch and the size of the patch we want to do. So we only want to go, yeah, you can replace all this.
Because I mean, this is a bend here, but this is like more of a radius. Do you have something to make like a radius?
Yeah, so we'll cut out the piece, and then we'll just bend it over like a piece of tubing or something until we can hammer it until we get the right shape. So I think that'll work.
And you want to get rid of all this rust over here? This like
yeah, might as well.
So first, I guess, cut a piece of cardboard roughly in the, I guess, the size of plate we need, and then we'll trace a piece of sheet metal based on this piece of cardboard, and then we'll form that sheet metal as best as we can to fit this specific spot. And then once we get that pretty close to the shape that we need, we'll go ahead and outline that piece of sheet metal that we formed and mark it on the truck, and then cut the piece out, and then weld that piece back in, weld that piece of sheet metal into place. Are we gonna like just spot weld it, or like weld it all the way around?
You basically, so when you're working with sheet metal, you don't want to put a lot of heat into it because then it'll start to warp.
Yeah.
Especially, like, there could be some residual stress already in, especially when the shapes get complex. So like when you start to cut pieces out of them, they start to like do funky stuff and deform. So I mean, it's probably not going to happen with this, but like, it's also like, this is a pretty complex shape. It's not just like flat. So this is all on a bunch of different curves. So the smaller we can make the pieces, the better it is, because we don't really have, you know, all the metalworking equipment that's required to make these complex shapes. So yeah, keep it small and it should be fun.
Alright, so we got our piece already cut out and formed, and I think it fits pretty good. So we're gonna go ahead and like Jack just said, FJ60 is gonna go into the knife. We're gonna do a little surgery on this spot right here, and then once we get this spot done, go ahead and do the other spots. Got that one spot, I guess that one piece made. Now we're gonna work on getting the second piece I guess bent so it can kind of fit this little curved spot right here. And so what are we gonna do with this spot, this smaller spot here, and this one right here? We're just gonna weld that in, tack weld that in.
Where?
This spot and this smaller one right here.
Honestly, we'll probably replace this just because it's so bad around it. Yeah,
because all this spot, all this was rusted.
This one too. I mean, you could do some spot welding on this one maybe, but the thing is, when you start spot welding, in my experience, usually when something's already rusted, it's super thin around it, so then you just end up making a bigger hole and end up, so it's usually better to just do a panel.
Do another small little patch here, and probably a long one right here. Or maybe
yeah,
maybe just one right here.
Small one there, and then
fill that little
see
piece
what
in.
happens on this and go from there.
Sounds good.
We don't have enough followers to have YouTube experts commenting on our videos, but hopefully some of you guys will come along, you know. tell us how we should be doing it. Like, comment, hate, and subscribe, please.
Any comments would be much appreciated. Because
negative or positive, it's
exactly. Yeah. I'm learning here. Jack's done this a few times on the 40 and his other 60, and then now mystery vehicle in the back.
Yeah, no one knows what it is.
We'll talk about that one a little later. So what I did first is cut a couple of pieces of cardboard to get my template to see if it's gonna fit or cover what I want to repair. Once I got the template cut, I went ahead and traced it out on a piece of sheet metal and got my pieces cut. Then when I cut the pieces, then I formed them, try to get it as close as possible to the shape of the patch that I'm gonna fix. This one came out actually pretty good. And so now we're gonna get started on cutting out these holes and then welding these patches into place.
Nice.
Got the patches all tack welded in place. Now we're gonna go ahead and wire wheel the edges of the patches so we can get ready to completely weld them in. This is my first patch I did on the truck. First patch, actually, first time patching up anything. I think it was alright. Could have been a little bit better, but you know, for my first time, I did learn a few tricks here and there. And so we got that done. So that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Next, I'm gonna be working on is fixing up some other patches I have on the truck. There's a couple on the rear tailgate. There's some more spots on the door and other spots here and there, and I'll show you that once I get that complete. But that's gonna be it for now. Check y'all later.